Hi everyone, this is not the video for anything regarding the music. This video is, I want to say several things about the situation in Serbia. It's going to be a bit longer, but I really cannot stay silent on the situation that we are going through. And I know that you might already have heard or seen some images or maybe heard certain stories. I want to tell you from the perspective of the citizen and someone who is not involved in any type of the political actions or never been a part of any political organization, nor do I have any business opportunities or business motives here in Serbia. Everything I'm going to say is from perspective of understanding politics very, very well, since I've been born in the wars and during all this madness that was happening. Several revolutions, several wars, and yeah. So the story is that in the Saturday, 15th March, we're gonna have one of the largest protests ever seen in Serbia. Maybe ever, maybe in the last 30 years. And the last big ones were in 99, where we were against the regime of Slobodan Milosevic. And after the bombing of Serbia by NATO and everything that happened here. So after that, we got a democratic government that were doing things on a democratic ways. But since all the hard time and the world economic crisis, 2008 and everything, somehow they lost the election as the new political party was born, new. All the people that created the new political party were already parts of the Serbian Radical Party, really extreme, the ones that were facing the wars, and one of the main guys beside Vojislav Šešelj was Aleksandar Vučić, the current president of Serbia. So what they did and how they did it, nobody knows, but somehow they changed the suits, they changed the political party, they got branding, they got everything like overnight, and they came in power, and they've been in charge for the last 13 years. In the last 13 years, they took every single institution in Serbia in custody. They bought every single media that exists. They legalized the hooligans. So the first thing they did, what he did, was they made an agreement with the hooligans, with the mafia, with everything. So they provided the businesses for all of these hooligans. They kind of made them close to them, really, really shady people and really aggressive ones, people that were on the stadiums selling drugs and everything, now have the construction companies, building the roads, building the buildings, getting everything they need to just to stay close, because they are a kind of strong groupation of people who can make any changes. And this was how we made to pull down the Milosevic, how we made to with the switch before democratic parties, and this regime right now happened that they lost at the election. But most of the people that voted for Aleksandar Vučić at the time actually didn't vote for him. They were just sick of the politicians, and they've been mad that not many things have been changed on better when it comes to the financial and economic situation in Serbia. So they voted against the Democratic Party, as they have been sick by waiting for so long. But they didn't know, of course, because most people were angry and kind of disappointed with that government after Milosevic. So they voted for this one, but this one kidnapped our country. So our president is breaking constitutional law every single day. And what I said about these incompetent people that are getting these construction companies. So if you visited Serbia, you most likely were able to see that there's a huge development. It's building, it's everywhere. But all the money coming from the credits from the World Economic Bank or wherever. So the debt of Serbia increased enormously. All medias are pro-regime. There's not even one that is against them. There are N1 and Nova S, which are only the televisions on only one cable network. So you're not able to watch that if there's a lot of old people who still are not following internet and everything in Serbia. They mostly watch television. So all the opposition is ridiculous, and this is not the message that I support anybody in general. If you ask, if you conduct the research, you will understand that 90%, I don't know, 70% in Serbia wouldn't vote for anyone, and every single elections, only 35% of population is getting out for the vote, while this regime is buying all the votes. And I know that this sounds like nothing, and how this is possible in 2024 or 2025 or 2022. It's because this government is working tightly with the leaders of European Union and with Chinese, with Russians. So they have the external politics done really well, which is not really good for Serbia. Like, they gave the gold mines of Serbia, they gave to Chinese companies. The Chinese companies announced they're going to dig 75 tons of the gold in the next period. I don't know exactly how much years up front. The German companies want to dig lithium in Western Serbia. Our government agreed. So whatever they ask from us, this government is giving to them, because they know that they need to be their servants. Otherwise, they could be pulled down super easy. But the people in Serbia are not agreeing with any of this. There's no referendums. Nobody's asking people in Serbia. So to try to shorten it up, all these new buildings that were built by incompetent people, some of these buildings started falling down, and this is what happened in the last November, when just renovated train station, the roof collapsed and killed 15 people, and some of these 15 people were actually children. And in that moment, people realized it's being enough. So the students, mostly the students, started protesting. They started blocking the universities. The high schools joined. So the people that are children that are going to school started protesting, like with their colleagues from, or their citizens from the universities. The professors started joining up. So these protests started to spread in every single part of the Serbia, and everyone started to join, like people that are doing in agriculture, and every single layer of society started joining them. And the energy that was brought up by and started by the students and everything is insane. It is something I never saw in my life. People of Serbia being united so much. The reason why I'm telling this story is because I cannot stay silent to all of it. And the problem with this is that we don't have any foreigner support right now, because, like we had with Milosevic, because all the politicians from the States, from the European Union, they wanted to pull Milosevic down, and we were fools and we thought it's the fight for democracy. But really soon we realized that because the socialism that we had, most of the companies were run by the government. So then the privatization started going on, and then foreigner companies started to buy all these government companies. So we can say that globalization was going as planned. We took Milosevic, changed the system. We voted for democracy, but instead of democracy, we got just bureaucracy and capitalism, which is not what we fought for. We fought for democracy, and now we have maybe the less democratic government we ever had. And I honestly believe that even communism was way better than this. Everything is run by the same political party. All good restaurants are, the owners of all good restaurants in Serbia are people from the same political party. Every companies, every tenders, or everything that is happening here is run by the people that are joined this political party. So these huge protests were so successful. So the government and the regime, what's doing right now, is one of the most ridiculous moves that I have seen in my life. So they started paying their own students, which are not people from the university. You can see it's all shady people, hooligans that are getting money to protest every single day, actually to support. And their slogan is like, we want to get back in school, because they want to stop all these blockades and everything. So the government placed them just in the park in front of the parliament. And a few days ago, they got even the fences. And you can see in many videos, these students are jumping off the fences and started punching other people who are protesting. Just 2 days ago, because one of the things that the students would like to achieve, and one of the goals of these protests, are that the full documentation about the construction of the train station in Novi Sad to be allowed for everyone, and that all responsible for this collapse to be arrested and sanctioned. And they have been falsing and saying that they did announce the documentation, which they did, but the documentation is it's completely incomplete, and the most important parts are missing, like who is responsible for this, who signed all the approvals, who did the construction, who are the people that are responsible for killing our citizens who were just waiting for their trains, and some of them were children. So these 15 people had families, these 15 people had friends, they had even us. Or even if I didn't know any one of these 15 people, I do feel compassion every single day when I think about it. And this is one of the reasons why I cannot stay silent to all of this. And the mother of one of these people is together with the protest, on the protest every day, in that park, which we call Chasiland. It's a long story. Why? Because there was a graffiti which was grammatically correct when they said like the students want to go back to school, and they had like really they just missed one letter, which is showing actually it's a proof, and this is their nickname now. It's called Chatsi instead of Jatsi. So you can see the Red Berets, and the Red Berets were a paramilitary unit, and the Red Berets were ones that killed our prime minister after Milosevic, Dr. Zoran Djindjic, who actually had really nice ideas about changing the whole society and doing the things in a good way. I'm not saying that he was a good guy or anything. I don't know much about the politics, or I don't want to, and I also don't want to say good words about the people that I didn't know personally, and that there is possibility that even this person was not good, as I cannot stand even one politician on this planet. And just to so you can imagine the nonsense of our government. So there is a video of in that time, our minister of the police is visiting the police station, and when the dog that's actually trained to find drugs, surrounded with old people around, is barking on our minister of police. So I'm gonna place that in this. So I'm gonna place that video so you can see what's going on. We have the students and wonderful people, and if you ever visited Serbia, or if you know anything about Serbia, then there's most likely that you have two opinions: or you had a wonderful time and you are blown away, or you had an awful time, because our society is divided. The majority are wonderful people, really good hosts, hospitality, the tradition and everything, while we have this layer of society of extremely ugly people, which are dangerous, which are aggressive, which are mad, which are incompetent and really, really bad people. So this is something that I was telling even before this, like Serbia is it's a country of contrasts where you can see the most beautiful and the ugliest things. Fortunately, the majorities are good people, and but this layer of society that took our government, that took our country, sorry, and the current government is part of them, are just making the whole story really, really hard for every single one of us. So the protest is on 15th March. It's going to be mad because we already know how this government is functioning. As I saw it already many times, we had the protests during the COVID and the lockdowns, where we protested peacefully, we without any aggressivity or any kind of signs, and they were putting these hooligans between of the people that protests, and with the plan that they start attacking the police. So the police have the reason why they should attack people and kind of destroy the protests. I am 100% sure that the same thing is going to happen in Saturday, and I'm definitely not going to be at home. I'm going to go there and I'm going to support all of my friends. So I know it sounds crazy, but in Serbia currently we have a fight between the evil and good, and we really want you. We really need your support. As without the voice, and honestly, I don't see. I'm not a political expert, nor did I ever was able to predict what's going to happen. Every time I had certain thoughts about what's going to happen, I never did it correctly. So it's something that I'm not good at. But how it looks to me is going to be, there's going to be some blood, definitely. And I can guarantee you it's not going to come from the side of the people that are planning to protest, because these people that actually protesting right now are the ones that are protesting against the aggressiveness, against the anger, against the corruption, against all of that ugliness that took our country. And honestly, it feels like our country got sick by the cancer that is eating everything from the inside, and also without support, because this cancer is supported by some foreigner, a lot of foreigner countries, because it's good for their own interests in their countries, which have sense. And I'm not saying that your countries are bad, but I can say that your politicians are definitely not good people, as I still didn't see any politician as a good person. This is the business where it's all about the lies and everything. But still, wherever you live, I'm not sure. I'm quite sure it's very hard chance that you live in a system that's worse than the one that is currently in Serbia. So instead of democracy, we got bureaucracy and capitalism. Uh, every single elections were set up because the people that are working in government institutions and schools and everything, they are not getting the contracts for a long time. They all get like 1 year contracts that needs to be renewed every year, and they've been blackmailed. They need to go and support this political party. They need to go to elections. They need to vote for this political party, and they need to take a picture who did the vote for. So they are organized. I don't know. It's a cartel. It's something else. It's definitely not a political party. They're controlling police. They're controlling every single part of the society that have any power. All the medias and everything. They learned from the mistakes of Milosevic. So Milosevic fall on the streets where hooligans actually helped a lot, because they are kind of street army. You cannot joke with these people. These people are really dangerous, and I know a lot of them. I'm living in the neighborhood, and I've been on the streets of Serbia and survived for quite a long time, and all the wars and everything. So I've been through a lot already, and I'm kind of sick of it, to be honest. Uh, my thoughts about all of this is if we don't make a stop to this, I will definitely try to find another country, even though there's not much of the choices right now. But anything, I just ask for support of these wonderful people from Serbia, and if there's any chance, any ideas of how this can be spreaded everything to the world, to just see where do we live, and that most of the governments in Europe are supporting these ugly people. I say ugly from the inside. I don't care about the outside look of anyone. So yeah, wish us the best. It's going to be crazy, it's going to be insane. Like, also our government is already collected and brought the tractors from all over the country in Serbia. They're gonna try to block the roads, but they don't want to do it. So the police, well, by the police, because then it's going to be obvious they're gonna create artificial against party. They are paying it with our own tax money, or they are asking the money from all of their structures, the business owners, all these people that they were giving the jobs for working the constructions, the restaurants, and selling drugs and everything. So there's going to be a lot of craziness. We are protesting against really dangerous people, but nobody, there is a sense of, there is a fear exists, but the energy of people are so beautiful, and honestly something that I never saw in my whole life. I'm sorry for such a long message and everything. I just needed to try to use my voice and do some good of it, as again I see that the whole world is in crisis, and there's battles of or wars for good and evil in every single part of the world right now, and we need to stay strong. And I need to start spreading. It's not that I need, but I feel as I need and as I should start spreading the truth, as I believe the truth has the power in to help us to win this war between evil and good, between dark and light. And yeah, all of this madness that is happening, I know that most of the countries are going through many type of the crisis, but let us, if you cannot help, then this can be a good message to all of you. And I hopefully believe that Serbia is going to be the firecracker that people all around the world would be able to see that we can fight all of this cancer, and that we're going to find a solution for a better world and a better society. We have our biggest battle this Saturday, 15th March, and it's 15th, it's chosen because 15 people were dead every single day at 11:52, I believe, in the time when the train station collapsed. People were blockading the roads all over the country, with the 15 minutes of silence for all of these 15 people. And we have everyone thinks it's a final battle. I really don't think so, but it's going to be one of the most important things against this evil that took our country. Wish us the best of luck, and I hope that we're gonna win this battle.
Korak po korak, kolone studenata u neonskim prslucima i ove nedelje prelaze nove kilometre duž cele zemlje kako bi se okupili na protestu 15. marta u Beogradu. Studenti koji su tokom vikenda pošli sa severa zemlje, iz Bačke Topole i Subotice, danas su stigli u Novi Sad. Mali broj njih, oko 30-ak, bit će smešten na kampusu, dok ostali imaju organizovan privatni smeštaj.
Atmosfera nikad bolja, stvarno svi smo puni energije kao prvi dan da hodamo, svi nam trube, svi sviraju, samo podrška od svih građana, ljudi koji nas čekaju sa strane na ulicama da nam daju vode, hrane, sve što nam je potrebno, tako da stvarno atmosfera kao prvi dan da smo krenuli.
Osim severa i juga, na petodnevni marš do Beograda danas je krenula i zapadna Srbija, studenti iz Čačka, Kraljeva i Užica.
Kod nas ima ovde oko 500, možda malo više, Kraljevo, Čačak, Užice. Krenuli smo oko 11 sati. Trebalo je naravno taj broj da bude i više, ali nažalost zbog ograničenja broja mesta u ostalim gradovima što se tiče spavanja, morali smo da ograničimo broj pešaka, što bi se rekao. Atmosfera je odlična. Pumpamo.
Sa druge strane zemlje, studenti juga Srbije koji pešače već drugi dan, a koji imaju najzahtevniju rutu od oko 190 km, glasno poručuju: ide Niš, stiže Niš. Oni su danas prošli kroz Markovac i Veliku Planu, a večeras će prespavati u Smederevskoj Palanci. O najavama vlasti da će u Beogradu doći do nemira kažu da to sigurno nije deo plana onih koji žele ispunjenje zahteva.
Mi ne možemo da predvidimo šta će biti na ulicama tog dana. Ono što možemo da kažemo jeste da plan studenta zasigurno nije da ovo preraste u neki nasilan obračun, ali svakako ni ne planiramo da spustimo tenzije. Što se tiče dalje protesta, pa imamo vere da će naši kolege sa Beogradskog univerziteta to već organizovati, tako da mi dođemo do svog cilja već nakon tog protesta zapravo, a to su ispunjenje naših zahteva.
A sutra će i studenti iz Kragujevca započeti četvorodnevni protestni marš iz centra u centar, do Beograda. Doći će i oni da pešače. Ostatak studenta iz Niša će istovremeno krenuti biciklima prema Beogradu. Prethodni veliki skupovi studenta održani su u Novom Sadu pod nazivom 1. februara na 3 mosta. Zatim u Kragujevcu Sretnimo se na Sretenje i u Nišu pod nazivom Studentski edikt.